Hello, ladies. We are in our third peer review session, and right now we're going to get started by reviewing part one of part two of my CCP project. I'm going to go ahead and share the document, and then we can get started. Let's try this one more time. Share document. Here we go. Here we go. Have we all seen it now?
Okay, now we do.
All right. All right, let's get into it.
Okay. Anita.
All right. So this sentence right here, the second sentence, for me, it was just a little wordy or often when this term is used, most envision the principal or the assistant principal as, maybe, do you have to have the word acting there or just as the curriculum leader?
Okay, we could definitely take that out.
Yeah, I think that.
Since these two often monitor the delivery. That's good. Still close.
Then I'm going to put an arrow right here, this mastin.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you use it up here, but don't you have to put the year and the date again?
I think you're right. Okay.
All right. If you scroll down a little bit, right here, typically, I believe you need a comma after the word typically.
Definitely.
And before you move down a little bit, at the beginning of that paragraph, you talk about the school leader here, the leader of the school, and then you said the principal as the curriculum leader of a school must develop. So you could probably avoid that second school because you already call him leader of the school and then you call him again.
Yep.
So the principal as a curriculum leader of the school must develop a deep and broad knowledge base within. No, that's not what you're talking about.
You could probably delete, you could put the principal as a curriculum leader must develop. Just take off the school.
Okay.
You already have him here.
Okay. Okay, so what you're talking about now, yes.
Yeah.
And then under that, there's just one. Okay. Supports this further, noting that 5 important reasons why a school must have, maybe instead of that in there, not in the 5 important reasons why a school must have a good curriculum leader.
So that one more time, Silvia.
So right here, where my
Can't
arrow.
find the arrows.
Do you have the little bar across the top? You went up there and said annotate, right?
For me or for Silvia?
Silvia. Go up there and push annotate and that little bar comes up and it's right in the middle.
Okay, found it. Perfect, thank you. Now I can do arrows too.
Okay, I will clear my arrow.
Okay,
all right. So Silvia, what were you saying I should?
Supports this further, noting that 5 instead of that, noting the 5 right here. Let me see if the arrow will work.
Noting just 5. Noting 5 important.
Instead instead THE instead of that. 5 important reasons. The 5 important reasons why a school must have a good curriculum leader. Okay.
Okay.
And then we move down and we're good.
All right, are you at lesson design yet?
Well, let me see. I have a couple others in here. Let me see. We can start the curriculum leader. Okay, not that one, but. You know what? We can stop there until I find my papers. Go ahead and move on, Anita.
All right, so go down to lesson design. Again, here you have above the arrow this time you have the year, but you forgot the year again here.
Okay.
Um,
I think that's going to be right throughout because that seems to be a systematic arrow.
And then that sentence there, Froelich highlights that an effective lesson design must focus on student activities and not teacher activity. Should that be a semicolon because now it's like 2 clauses, or do you want to make it 2 sentences?
Got you. I think I would want to use a semicolon.
Okay. All right. The next,
Before he goes down a little bit, can I point something out?
Yeah.
Please.
In here, where you're talking about the principal, you say the principal serves as liaison and the principal responsible for guiding team. Maybe an is in here. The principal is responsible. Because you're talking about what is doing, or
Could you move your arrow directly to where you're talking, Silvia?
right here, number 3.
Oh, she wants you to put an is right after the number 3, is responsible.
Got you. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, because the other one starts with a verb and this one is just hanging
Right.
by itself.
There's no
Okay.
verb.
Great.
All right, right here you need to, where it says the Science Education Research Center, you need to put a parentheses and put the SERC there because you talk about it later on, but you need to make sure you. All right, if you go down just a little more. Right here, this should be ownership. So it's students apostrophe.
Right.
Quick question. Right here where we have this interaction, and equally their interaction, or is it interactions with students?
They must be familiar with the interaction among students and equally their interactions. Yes, it's an S.
But let's reread that, because one of the suggestions that I have in here is that equally in there could be changed. So let's read that again to see if it sounds better without it.
With the interaction among
students and equally their interactions with students. Familiar with their interaction among the students and.
Oh, yeah.
Right, that equally in there, it's a little bit off.
Wordy?
Yeah, so you can take that. Yeah, I'm definitely the opposite of you both. I am not wordy.
Right.
And typically I'm not, but when you're trying to ensure you have 12 sources.
Yeah. Oh, also here, with this science education research, is this a source? If so, you've not put the year anywhere.
Okay. Let's click review. Don't give me that.
I have an arrow here. Okay. Anita's moving faster than me.
Sorry.
But go ahead.
I was just going to say here, I think this is the first time you've used that SERC. You need a year or the reference for that.
Oh, yes, correct.
Let's go ahead and highlight that. All right. Would I put both of these in the same parentheses or no?
And I'm wondering if, yeah, and I don't know which would go first.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to look.
I'm gonna look back at APA for that.
Yeah. So I'm thinking you would need to put the year first and then the SERC.
Okay.
But I'll double check too to see if I can, help you out there.
Thank you.
I think this student here needs to be plural because we're talking in plural. Engaged students, serve students.
Which engages students and have been several things first students start to change. Yeah.
And I think after secondly here, there is a comma. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Right there, yes.
That's a long sentence.
Right. And that's one of the suggestions I had in here, but I feel like can't talk about lengthy or run on sentences because I feel like, be like,
quick question, right here where I have SERC, do I need to put the year there as well? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're saying it's describing, so you're referencing that article.
Yeah.
And I will say that this part about the SERC is wordy, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're trying to find something that, because you're wanting to shorten it, just remember what you're trying to describe here is the lesson design. And is this kind of lesson design going to be talked about in your interviews?
Okay.
Because, if I understand correctly, these are supposed to be something like he called them operational definitions that are supposed to help talk about
the process.
Pretty
yeah,
much
the
we're
process.
establishing the framework for the project that we will take on or that we're doing.
Right.
Okay.
So you might be able to take some of that out. I mean, I don't know the curriculum at your school, so.
All right. Yeah, I'll definitely be cutting some because I do need to condense it.
Right.
All right. See, I didn't have very many for you, corrections either on this part for you. Standard alignment. Sylvia, did you have anything else on that part?
I was trying to look here. I think here in a low poor lesson design, I think he could put a comma in there.
In which one?
Where it says low, high, low poor.
So you're up a little bit.
Mine up. Okay, here, yeah. In a low poor lesson design, comma, the instruction is teacher-centered and little connections.
Oh, yeah. I had that too, because that's a prepositional.
Okay, students, you fixed that. Previous knowledge, prior knowledge fixed. And previous knowledge in the high lessons design teachers typical. Okay, let's read this one. In the high lessons design, let me see where I'm at.
You could take out.
Students
I think I could possibly take that entire sentence out and just say, vice versa or something along that line.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I would revisit that section on the SERC and see if that's relatable to your interview questions.
Mhm.
Is it something that you could talk about in part 3 or part 4?
Okay.
Okay, come on, need it. We're good.
That's a pretty color.
It's color royalty.
Oh, good one, good one.
Anita likes purple and pink. And here, oh, you moved me. Here, give several structural tips as to improving the lesson design. Could it be as to improve the lesson design for a better flow?
Yeah.
Okay.
And here, one might refer to these elements, right? One might refer to these elements.
Well,
Refer these elements or refer to these elements. I think that 2 is missing there.
it's more so saying that these tips that they give, that you could actually call them the elements of a good lesson design.
Right. But here, one might refer these elements. Isn't it missing a 2? One might refer to these elements.
Gotcha.
Mhm. Okay. Then teacher frame, helping teachers. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, this part in here, let's just start, this part, you see me pointing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, incorporating, using, incorporating, and then you go to, let me see, opportunities for students.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you're doing ing, ing,
Maybe allowing
ing, and you need an ing there.
for consistency. Starting to get the lingo.
And if you decide to keep this whole paragraph, you didn't cite this paragraph,
I just put SERC.
right? So you'll need to put make sure you put a year and stuff there to cite it.
Okay. Okay, we're good.
Gender alignment.
Yeah, so what I was meaning is is this whole paragraph from the SERC? Oops.
This whole thing is based on that reading, yeah.
Okay, so again, up there at the top, make sure you put parentheses with the year on it. You might even want to throw it there at the bottom of the whole paragraph too, just to let everybody know that's where you referenced that whole entire paragraph.
Definitely.
I also think your whole next under standard alignment also. You have your second, yeah.
Did I have my second, what?
Okay, so let's see. Yeah, right there where Sylvia's pointing, I would take that word "that" out of there.
And the quotations in the word "what" should be doubled. For some reason, they're showing us one quotation.
Mm.
So it should be double quotations?
Double quotations.
It's a quotation, not a comma.
Well, is that a comma up there? There you go. You got it. I
Or
don't even.
not a comma, an apostrophe.
Apostrophe. Okay, that's what it is. I'm like, comma up there? How do you get a comma up there? You're talented.
Good, but not that good.
And again, was all of this on the rest of this paragraph your thoughts, or was it the SCAI's thoughts?
This is gonna be CSAI thoughts.
So you might,
with mine, so I still gotta give them credit.
okay. Where my arrow is, you could just say standard alignment is critical to ensure the quality of instruction offered in school. Do you have, I don't know, maybe now it doesn't sound as right. I just thought that sounded wordy with that is offered, but now I'm like, maybe it does sound good. All right, let me read that again. Student alignment is critical to ensure the quality of instruction offered in school to promote students' continued academic growth.
Okay.
And before we move on here, I think you could use a comma here because you're introducing this sentence. On the other hand, the curriculum might be described as, on the other hand, comma, the curriculum might be described as below, as the how. And I think for how too, we needed the double quotation marks. Exclamation marks. Whatever.
What are those called? Because you can get one of them or you can get two of them.
So you're using apostrophes or you're doing quotations?
Yeah. For some reason there's a.
One is apostrophe, and then if you hit the shift button, you'll get the quotations.
Yeah, but like that one is not an apostrophe.
No, that's weird, right? How did you even find it like that? Where did you find it in your keyboard?
Right beside the enter.
Let me see on my other keyboard.
Yeah, that's your, isn't that the apostrophe button? Yeah.
Yeah.
But funny that it does it on the other side, like opposite. Anyways, we're all distracted by your quotation.
Anyways, let's keep going.
However, there was a however here.
However,
Let me see.
that I should follow however with a comma?
Is there anything after that? However, shouldn't something be like a comma or a
Like that?
semicolon? However, comma.
It's telling you it's two different sentences, or yeah, two different clauses. Yeah.
Oh, so you gave me, what do you call that? A semicolon.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's see.
Sorry, before you go here, when done correctly, this alignment, comma, when done correctly, comma, because you're like separating it.
Or a double comma?
Set off with commas on both sides. Yep. Everything else on that department looks great to me. Let's look down.
Okay, instructional resources.
Mhm.
Again, the same reoccurring thing to think about when you're reading this again is don't forget to put the year for those quotations or for, the site.
Well, after hearing Sylvia talk about
Yes.
the year, I-
Now I'm worried. No, it might not be. I've been trying to look through my documents to see if there is
no, no,
a.
no, no, Sylvia, you saw what I just typed a while ago, so.
I think you might worry if the majority of yours are over that
Right.
10-year mark,
Okay.
but if you have the 12 that are in that, yeah,
Okay.
but not all of mine are in that 10-year mark either, so.
I'm gonna have to check, especially on Smith from 1972.
But is this one out of 20?
Uh-huh.
I think we're good.
Okay.
Right, Dr. Neil? You're watching this, right? Additional women teachers. It is hard to.
So, here about where it says, it is hard to think of the humans. I think we need an S on the end of humans.
Mhm.
As instructional resources.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I was okay with that.
Yes. Mhm.
Again, on that next paragraph, you have the National Academy Press, 1997. But again, is the whole is just that sentence from the National Academy of Press, or is the rest of the paragraph from them too? If so, you might want to cite again at the end of the paragraph.
Okay. I think so. Typically what happens is I read, and after I read, I comment, and when I comment, I go on and on and on.
Yeah.
We have been upgraded all night long, so we can keep on talking, guys.
What was that?
Our conversations keep on being upgraded in time. Apparently, we're making good use of it.
All right.
I want to stop here again at the numbers. And curriculum development evaluation is critical to secure human resources, or should we keep it in ing? Securing, critical to securing human resources. Assessing, securing.
Nice one, Sylvia, because they get me on that one a lot, not having those the same.
Right. I've learned a lot from my mistakes and my corrections, because I made that a lot. Yeah, I'm really bad with my commas too. So, securing additional. Securing.
All right, I do need to change one or two sources because I'm looking at this one, especially from, I have 3 of them that are way out of date. The Florio. I have another one from 1962.
Yeah. So you might want to make sure, so through that one, you might want to at least make sure one of them are in that 10-year range, or as Sylvia does, 5-year range.
I might have mispronounced that. I probably meant to say 10, okay? And you all are looking at my paper to see my dates. What you're doing?
All right.
Placement architect recommendation. And then my suggestion, then again, I'm talking to myself, is that in order to meet those 3-page length requirement, some of these paragraphs maybe can be simplified a little.
Definitely.
And I'm planning on doing that with my paper too, because I probably like to 10 pages.
Under continuous improvement, the second paragraph, you don't have any insight references. So you're saying the University of Toronto, but you need again to put the, is it a university research or is there an author that did it? So whatever the year. I mean, unless that's all your own thought process.
Nah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all fine, but if you are trying to condense, you know, you can just look through there and see which.
Looking through the entire thing, one of the things I was able to do was to look at 1 or 2 paragraphs, one paragraph from each subtopic. That would make it a little bit less lengthy, especially the SERC one, and then also the high, low. I don't remember where we saw that. It was a lesson design, which I think is still SERC. So I'll be going back through this to make some changes.
All right. And your references looked good. Because on your demographic profile, they didn't look like that, but you know how to do them. They look good.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotta go back and look. All right, I'm gonna switch this one and I'm gonna put up the demographic profile. And demographic, here we go. Sure. Is it up?
Yeah. All right. And I'll share, like I did with Silvia, my documents that have the stuff on them, just so if there's some things here we didn't get to go over.
Thank you.
I'll do too. Yeah, definitely.
So again, if you've already done this for some other papers, it's fine, but I was thinking Alpha Academy is a public charter school located in Fayetteville, North Carolina, period. It serves students from Cumberland County and the neighboring, primarily it serves students from Cumberland County and the neighboring Hoke County. But again, that might just be my preference for short, sweet sentences.
Gotcha.
That primarily. Okay.
All right, if you go down to here where there's grades. Ooh, what in the world did I just do? Oh, I didn't do annotate. All right, where am I at now? Is that, oh, right there. I think you just have an extra period or something.
Yes. Based on the word limit or I think I'm going to take out this entire section that focuses on that, on the different programs that are offered by the school.
Okay.
And for this one, is there
I'm still at 10 pages. What?
All right. Here for remediation blocks, is that going to be capitalized? I know the Saturday Academy would be, but are remediation blocks capitalized? Is that a specific
that a
thing?
name of a program?
You're right, it's not a true proper noun, so
And the same thing down here with math, reading, and science, they're not specific, so you don't capitalize them. Now, if it was Math 101 or Reading 301 or Biology,
mhm. Here's what I'm going to do again. In an attempt to cut, I am going to remove all of this because it details exactly the programs of Saturday Academy and the remediation blocked. But in the framework of what we should be doing, I'm taking that out.
okay. Okay, so like where you are. All right, according to Great Schools Review, you'll need a citation there. Oh, it's right here. But I think since you say it here, don't you need
A year? No.
a year?
Would the year come before review or after?
Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah, because Great Schools was the thing, right?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
he probably doesn't need it at the bottom because he's,
Is it all one sentence?
let me see.
Yeah. So you wouldn't have to put it at the bottom.
Which one would be best, to put it up top or to put it at the bottom?
If you're going to say according to Great Schools, you have to put it at the top.
Okay. Okay. Would this math be proper or no? No?
No.
Okay.
Okay, no. Lower for 7 and 8.
So this one is math 1. Okay, cool.
Math 1.
Also here with that, the North Carolina NC report card, that's a citation also.
Okay.
Under your, so you have your graph 1, is that the title, right? Okay. I don't know if you remember on Silvia and I think you take this part and it goes underneath and it's called a note underneath the chart. See where you said taken
Right.
from that? I think that gets moved to underneath that chart.
Gotcha.
Right,
I
Sylvia?
realize that you both have it in smaller fonts.
Yeah.
At the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And will he need a title for the?
Well, would that be the title, Figure 1, Alpha Academy? I'm pointing to the screen like you guys can see.
Me too.
Fingers.
I'm touching and moving up, scrolling down, up and down.
I like this sentence right here that you put in there. Alpha Academy pays close attention to the data received from testing, and teachers are continuously encouraged to be reflective practitioners, using data to drive instruction. That's a really nice sentence.
Now I was reading a little bit of this data here. All these percentages here. Is there any way this can go into a chart or a graph or?
Mhm.
I don't get percentages in boxes, but
I am thinking it may be best for me to just focus on the split in terms of gender,
Mhm.
and just focus on this 59 to 41%. And you're probably right. Maybe ideal for me to go ahead and put that as a
like a chart.
table.
Table. You're right.
On your tables, can you take some of that spacing out, or, and again, for this table, don't forget you need to put, a note like where you took it from.
Mhm.
Now, I'm not saying that you have to do that. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. And if it doesn't, it doesn't.
Right. I believe so. For the tables, you gotta put.
I don't know, because that one would have been,
Tables. Let's see.
I don't know, I'll fix that later. I'm not seeing
Yeah.
it.
The more I look at it, yeah, I don't see a concise example that.
Yeah. All
Yes.
right. There was something else.
Let's see. Commented on that. Student population by rate.
Are you at teacher data?
Mhm.
Oh, where are we at? With some teachers or with some teacher? So right there, should that be an S?
Yeah, some teacher.
And so when you're trying to go through, you have two parts that have teacher data,
Yeah.
and then you've got
Let me see. Student data.
yeah, I think you can combine some of your teacher data. And I actually think you ended up with two different paragraphs about the gender.
Mhm.
And if that is a point you're trying to make, but you could still put it into one.
Gotcha.
Because, yeah, you have teachers by gender, but then you have it down later too about gender.
Okay.
And again, I'll send you my document where it's all already annotated for you, so
Mhm.
you can see where I'm talking.
42 teachers for 921 students. That's quite a bit of students.
Yeah, I didn't know how much you have grown in the last couple of
Yeah.
years.
Well, we have. I'm hoping I didn't miss anybody, because that 42 would have been based on me counting.
By gender, yeah, and then teachers by gender again. Ethnicity. Number of teachers highly qualified. Okay.
Yeah, because you do the teacher diversity, then teacher gender. But I read the gender part twice.
That's what I'm thinking. I was looking back and forth. Let me see. Do we have a gender here? Oh, it's a student population.
That's gender.
Mm-hmm.
But I was, okay. But I'll look again because I was thinking I saw the let's go on.
Yeah, teacher gender. Let me look.
Oh, because you have teacher data as a subtitle, and then you have it as the next subtitle. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now I see the big picture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, and I will also say that your organizational chart, I get it. That
Right.
was really cool.
Okay, great.
Right.
That's what I said, good graphic.
Okay.
Now, Miss Euseda, I know her.
Oh, you know Miss Yusita?
Yes.
You
She was,
realize how I corrected you to the English version.
no, she was my daughter's kindergarten teacher.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, right. You put the English name.
I just call her Miss E because I cannot say that.
She's got a tough name. Yeah, it's Euseda. Yeah. Ceta. That's funny.
Scroll down to your reference page.
Mhm.
So you have it all single spaced and it should be double spaced.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Thank you.
And you do have a lot of references. That's more than me.
Yeah, I need to do my demographics a little. So,
So a part of it, and I'm looking at it to see that some of my references do need to go. Because they were more of the analysis that dealt with the what you may call it, the demographics of the school. So I do need to review that and remove some of them.
and again, you think about the analysis of this data. This data is about curriculum and SEL and,
Mhm.
How is that data relates to curriculum, right? I imagine.
yeah. As you said in part 4, Sylvia, how, as a principal, what's this going to tell me? So, but, all right. I will send you my annotated, I don't know, am I using the right word? The annotated,
Yeah.
the documents that I wrote on, and then you can see what I did.
I did. I would too.
All right. Thank you so much. Like I said earlier, all the feedback that we've been bouncing back and forth definitely beneficial, and I definitely using it to revamp this paper to match what we do need. Do we have any final comments?
I would check it on the bibliography, and it says 15 entries, and they should be dated. They must be relatively current since 2010. 6 of the 15 must appear in part 1. So we're good. 15, and then you can split it. 6 of them must be in part 1. The rest could be in the other one.
Okay.
So it's not 15 for one or 15 for the other one. It's 15 altogether.
All right.
Mm-hmm. I think we're good, guys. I think we're
All right.
All right.
All right. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Thank you so much. All right. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.